There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.
Good morning and welcome to this Valley News Now weather update brought to you by 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with a look at some first alert weather days ahead, including today. And just a heads up, we've raised more. It's going to be a first alert weather day marathon. Of course, the ones we're talking about for today and tomorrow to cover the clipper moving through. But the weekend's looking hazardous in different ways, both Saturday and Sunday. So we now have first alert weather days for Saturday and Sunday as well. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about what we are experiencing here. So let's talk about what we're first alerting to. So this first round of first alert weather days today and tomorrow include that clipper that's going to drive some wind and some scattered showers into the valley that will cause that potential for some intermittent whiteouts here as we are making our way through the next 24 to 48 hours essentially with some travel impacts. So first alert weather day for that system. But also heading into the weekend, I've raised a first alert weather day too for very low wind chills on Saturday. And then, so in that dangerous range, we'll break that down for you. And then in addition to that, another shot of snow and wind coming our way for Saturday night and into Sunday, another clipper. So we've got first alert weather days now for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I know it's a lot, but each day is one that we'll want to make sure we're paying closer attention to the weather, especially if we have some travel plans. And it all kicks off today. So let's get to it here. We've got beautiful conditions right now as we look outside in Fargo. Yet again, another view of that sun. This is actually West Fargo at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds. So looking nice out there. Temperatures are on the rise. We're seeing a surge of warmth coming ahead of the clipper yet again. And you can see where that warmer air is really pushed in. We're at 36 degrees in Valley City. That's double our current temperature in Fargo, which is 18 degrees. So very distinct line of warmer air just to the west of the FM Metro. Starting to see a warm up in Grand Forks at 22. But definitely more warmth going on over toward Devil's Lake and Jamestown. And then the rest of us are more still in the teens to some 20s at the moment. Again, as this clipper, we'll show you where it is. As it drops to the south and east, it will continue to draw in warmer air as we work our way into midday. So temperatures are mild. And then looking at our wind, you can see we've got some winds that have been gusting into the 20s. And at times we've seen a couple of 30-mile-per-hour gusts this morning already. And you can see the direction, too, out of the south or out of the west or, somewhere in between. All directions that tend to be warming, involving warmer air moving into the valley. And so starting to see that wind pick up, but it really gets going later today. So through the rest of the morning, we've got these gusts into the 20s out of the southwest. And then later today, we get that turn out of the northwest as the cold front approaches, and we'll see the wind pick up, getting into that 30 to 40 plus mile per hour range for most of us. We do have a wind advisory in the James River Valley that takes effect at 6 o'clock this evening. And in that area, we're looking out for gusts that could exceed 40 miles per hour. Central and western North Dakota under wind headlines, wind warnings for the possibility for gusts to 60 or so miles per hour. So it's going to be windy through the region, and that includes the Red River Valley. So let's take a look at how the setup is here. So we've got this low way north up into northern parts of Manitoba. And what's going to happen here is the center of circulation is going to drop south-southeast. So it's going to be moving toward the Great Lakes. And as it does so, it's going to drive in some wind, and then you could see the snow showers coming down with it as well. Already poised to affect places along the international border over the next couple of hours. So you can see Winnipeg maybe just seeing a quick little bout of snow moving through, back up into parts of Ontario, and then back over into western parts of North Dakota. These snow showers are starting to get detected on the radar sites here. And so going to see that eventually work their way into the Northern Valley. So afternoon hours, we'll start to see that ramp up for you. Southern Valley, it'll take a little bit longer. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. By the time we get to the 3 o'clock hour, you can see where some of these clusters of snow showers are. By 3 p.m., over Highway 2, Highway 200 corridor, maybe as far south as places like Fargo around the 3 o'clock hour. And notice how it's not necessarily going to be one large, uniform, widespread area of snow. It's more scattered in nature here. So what that means is at any given time, we could have one part in the valley, one place in the valley experiencing some snow, and then another not seeing anything at all. And the scattered nature of it's going to have some impacts on what the experience is like. It's going to be varying, especially if you're traveling, you're going to notice that. And in addition to that, of course, there are going to be some places that might get back-to-back rounds, and then others that might get a shot here and there, and then we're done. So that will have impacts on totals too. There's not going to be one spot in the valley that has the heavier snow, and then that's more uniform there, and then dropping off in other places. I'll show you that in a moment, what I mean. It's going to be more, again, scattered in nature, just like the snow coming down. So that's the round moving through here, heading into this afternoon. Moving ahead to tonight, you can see that we've got more on the way. Some of these scattered snow showers setting up in these bands, these kind of snow streamers, as we look ahead into later tonight. This is also when the wind picks up. So it's kind of following that wind and the wind direction. And you can see these gusts. This is for Fargo, but we'll see gusts, higher than that elsewhere too, and we'll take a look at more detail on that coming up. But gusts in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range at that point. So anywhere where you drive into one of these, you're going to suddenly be running into a snow squall type event where it's maybe not perfect for part of the journey, and then you head down the road. Say you're going down I-94 toward Jamestown at this point, you're going to suddenly run into one of these and your visibility is going to drop, and then it might improve, and then you might run into another one where it drops again. This is tonight, continuing into tomorrow. You can see those streams of snow or streaks of snow coming down. This is 4:30 on Friday morning. And so you can see Fargo may be getting snow at that point, back over toward Bismarck, parts of Minnesota as well. And so some places getting a bunch of snow moving through. Like if you happen to be in one of these kind of training lines, you're going to see that ongoing snow for a while. If you're in places where you just get kind of glanced by it, you may not get a whole lot. So let's continue on into Friday morning. You can see that chance for snow continues for parts of the valley. We're going to have some of our strongest wind gusts around that time, and that 40-plus mile per hour range for some areas. So let's talk about the wind through tomorrow morning. We're looking at winds that are, again, this morning, more in the teens and 20s right now, and we're focused in, these numbers are just our wind gusts, not necessarily showing direction. And you can see that we're looking at those gusts picking up into the afternoon just as those snow showers are starting to ramp up. You can see gusts in the 30s in eastern North Dakota, maybe 40 over by Bismarck by 9 p.m. And so already starting to see a little blowing and drifting. And then especially heading overnight tonight and into tomorrow, we'll expect to have those gusts more into the 40s, especially in eastern North Dakota, and continuing on into Minnesota. By the time we get into the 7 o'clock hour tomorrow morning, we could be seeing a gust up to 40 miles per hour there as well. So again, getting breezy to very windy heading into tomorrow morning, and still some ongoing snow at that point, and we will have picked up some snow too, and so that may get picked up and blown around in addition to the snow that's continuing to fall. And again, our strongest gusts in western North Dakota, those gusts peaking above 50 to 60 miles per hour, and then some of our communities in the west may get in that range as well. This is 3 p.m. on Friday, and so then going on into the late night hours, we're still seeing gusts in the 20s and 30s Friday night. It's not really until we get into Saturday morning, this is 9 a.m., where we start to see some hints of that easing up. So there may still, the snow will be done by Saturday morning, but we may be seeing still a little bit of light drifting across the roadways, still impacting travel to start off the day on Saturday. And winds are going to be critical Saturday morning too, because our temperature is going to be so cold. And this is the time where we're watching out for some of those dangerous wind chills I was mentioning earlier. So just looking ahead again through Friday, I paused the clock on our hour-by-hour planner in the morning hours on Friday, so I just want to follow through and show you the rest of the day. You can see snow showers still possible, but becoming more isolated as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours, though I can't rule out that possibility for one of these passing snow showers to impact you while you're hitting the road. And then, of course, we'll have the ongoing wind going on as well, picking up the fresh snow and blowing it around. So that continues to taper off as we head into Saturday morning as we're waking up. We'll still have the wind, and so open country, open areas are going to be more affected by blowing snow Saturday morning than in town, because the falling snow will be done with this system at that point. Okay, and by the way, if you have any questions, we say this all the time, but just a reminder, if you have any questions, head to our Facebook page. We're streaming this live, of course, on Valley News Now right now, but also on our Facebook page as well. Just checking to make sure that everything's turned on there. So you can comment, ask some questions if you want about the coming First Alert weather days here. So snowfall potential, again, I want to stress that there's notice here we see a uniform area of 1 to 2 inches of snow. That's this light blue color on the map. This is why I don't have it labeled, because it's going to be difficult to pinpoint where that heaviest snowfall is going to be. So I just want to show you overall we're looking at a lot of places 1 to 2. The next color up, 2 to 3, is showing some large pockets. And then there are some pockets that are in that 3 to 4 or even 4 to 5 in some areas. This particular model run has it out to the west. Other runs have had some of those showing up in our eastern viewing area, so it changes each time. But the potential's there for most areas in the 1 to 2 range, and then some of us getting in that 3 to 4, maybe as high as 5 inches of snow. Going to be tough to measure either way because of the wind. It's going to blow that around. But overall, everybody is seeing that chance for snow, and you get to 2 inches. Add a 35-mile-per-hour wind gust to the mix, and that's when we're looking out for the potential for blizzard-type conditions. One interesting thing about this event, though, is that blizzards, there's a specific definition for blizzards. They have to have winds, steady winds or frequent gusts of 35 miles per hour at least, and we need visibility less than a quarter mile, and that needs to last for 3 hours or more to be considered officially a blizzard. Well, if we've got intermittent reduced visibility, that may not happen during this event. It doesn't mean we won't have times of whiteout conditions or times of blizzard-like conditions, but it may not get completely classified as a blizzard. We'll see what happens. If we get enough snow, that ongoing wind may cause enough low visibility to create that potential. But right now it's more periods of some whiteout conditions that we can expect here heading tonight and into the day on Friday. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner. So we're going to be seeing that wind coming in out of the northwest on Saturday, still going. So that's something to be aware of. We're going to talk about the weekend wind as well coming up in just a moment. But this is starting out at 9 a.m. on Saturday. We've raised First Alert weather days for Saturday and Sunday. There's another clipper moving through. So I want to show you the timeline of that. Most of the day Saturday, we're kind of getting a break from the snow at least. This is noon. Heading into Saturday evening, here comes that next clipper, that next chance for a quick shot of more snow dropping through. This is overnight heading into Sunday morning. Still some lingering snow showers before that moves on. But the wind picks up on Sunday in the wake of this, and we're looking at the potential for some more blowing snow too. Now there's not going to be a lot. Let's take a look at Sunday snowfall potential. This is in addition to anything we see at the end of the work week this week. So looking at a lot of places just getting a dusting, but some spots may be in this kind of more opaque light blue. That's that 1 to 2 inch range again. So some may be seeing another 1 to 2 inches of snow with the one on Sunday, but not as much of a snowmaker, but it will stir up some wind. So let's take a look at our wind forecast for the weekend. So this is 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. So Saturday morning, we're still seeing some gusts in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range at that point. So that is enough to still cause some light drifting on roads, open areas, a little bit of reduced visibility going on. And again, we've got that wind also factoring into our wind chill that we'll take a look at in just a moment. So that's going to be a factor, some lingering wind. But notice as we go through the day, I zipped through the day here and paused us at 11 p.m. on Sunday. So it's late Sunday night. We get the break from the wind. However, more is coming with that clipper. So let's move overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. Here comes more wind gusts into the 30s, even some 40s, and you can see on the map here, it might even be stronger gusts than what we're seeing on tonight and into Friday. We could see that potential to reach a little bit higher than that 40-mile-per-hour mark. We could see that 50 range. So that's something to watch out for with the fresh snow we have on the ground, and then, of course, anything we pick up with Saturday night to Sunday's event. Okay, so that's wind gusts. We've got another round of blowing snow potentially on Sunday. And then looking at our forecast for wind chills, this is starting at 10 o'clock Friday night. So today we've got this big push of warmth, and then we'll get that northwest wind kicking in behind the low again, and that colder air spilling back in on Friday. So by Friday night, we're pretty chilly already temperature-wise. Add wind to the mix, and we're seeing our wind chills starting to dip in the 20s below to even some 30s below at that point. This is, again, 10 o'clock. And then looking ahead into Saturday morning, we're seeing more places with wind chills with the potential in the 30s to even 40 below. This is 5 a.m. Let's move ahead a little bit more. Even around 9:30, we could see some of our lowest wind chills. You can see along the international border. This is where wind chills are potentially going to have the greatest possibility of dropping down to that 40-plus below zero range. So dangerous cold. Frostbite sets in very quickly at these numbers. If you're not properly dressed and protected, you want to make sure you're covering up, you're layering up. And that's why we've raised a first alert weather day for Saturday, because we still have some light blowing snow out there. If you run into trouble on the road, this is what you're facing if you have to get out of your car. And again, we want to remind you, if you do get stranded, you should never leave your car during the winter time. Call for help, wait for help within your vehicle, and have that winter survival kit in your car with the extra layers and extra hat and gloves, all that to stay warm while you wait for help. So we just want to first alert you to the fact that it's going to be pretty cold. We haven't seen this really yet this season, and it's going to be dangerously so in the Saturday morning time frame. Now, as we go through the day, our wind chills do improve. We're going to see that system approach. And so for Saturday night, actually, our wind chills won't be so bad. They'll still be pretty cold. You can see some 20s below by 11 o'clock at night on Saturday. But with that warmer air kind of moving in with this system yet again, leading up to, again, another punch of cold air behind it, wind chills improve a little. Now, once we get into Sunday afternoon and evening, we could see some more trouble with wind chills as we are looking at our temperatures starting to drop again. So, but really Saturday is the day that I'm most concerned about the cold being a factor. Sunday is more of a concern about the blowing snow factor with those stronger winds on Sunday. Though again, we're looking at wind chills that'll be below zero. So let's talk about it. Our weekend planner here going to be quite cold Saturday. Some highs that stay below zero in some spots. Some of us may creep up above zero for highs, but it's going to be a cold day with the wind chill factor again being on that dangerous side. Slightly warmer on Sunday, but not by much, with a chance for more snow and a chance for some wind. So both days now this weekend are also first alert weather days that we've raised. And let's talk about travel and our travel planner here. Just a review here to talk about the fact that, next 4 days we've got some changes coming up with our weather and travel impacts that may vary a bit, but still some impacts. So for today, I've got the yellow light because we are looking at increasing threats for tough weather and tough travel weather as we see those snow showers move in this afternoon and into tonight with increasing wind too. So impacts will worsen, I should say, or get tougher as the day goes on. Friday will kind of be locked in with the wind and the snow showers ongoing as well, especially Friday morning, that potential for that intermittent whiteout with the scattered snow showers and the blowing snow going on, and then just snowy roads in general with a couple of inches of snow is going to be slick. So travel may be difficult at times, especially out in open country with the wind blowing that snow around. Saturday, again, now a first alert weather day. We've got caution light for Saturday because of, we'll have some blowing snow in the morning, but those dangerous wind chills down into that 40 below range. And then Sunday, back to high impact travel because of the wind. It's going to be strong and then we're adding a little bit more snow to the mix on top of what we pick up with this event. So Sunday's travels could be impacted quite a bit by the wind as well, with some blowing snow. So here we go, right back to winter time. It is definitely coming back with a vengeance after we've had such mild temperatures. It's been up and down, though, for this first half of January, but we've had a lot of very warm days. And today will be no exception. We're going to see that surge of warmth coming our way. And so some of us already in the 30s, and more of us will get in on that for this afternoon before this system sweeps through. And then again, Friday, really cooling down, seeing those temperatures down into the teens, and windy weather, ongoing snow showers. Friday night and into Saturday, dropping below 0 for our temperature, and wind chills in that dangerous range for Saturday. And so again, now we've got 4 first alert weather days in a row, because also Sunday, another clipper stirs up the wind, stirs up the snow, and causes some travel impacts for weekend travel. So I want to give you that heads up now in case you are hitting the road, heading out of town, and plan to drive back on Saturday now, or Sunday rather, or Saturday for that matter. But Sunday's going to be the tougher day as far as the wind and blowing snow is concerned. So now you know that this might be impactful. Check the VNL weather app as you're heading back before you hit the road here, so you know what's going on. You can always check for the latest road conditions. So after all of that, we're looking at next week being a cool down for us. Temperatures into the single digits to teens for highs. And then we kind of reinforce or double down on our cold heading into the following weekend and into that last week of January. It looks pretty frigid. We've got the potential for several days below 0. So yes, winter is coming back. Today's still mild. Even, this morning, heading into early afternoon, especially if you're in the south before those snow showers that are starting to approach from the north move in, you have a chance to get out and enjoy that little bit of sun and the milder temperatures. But then after that, we're back down into the cold. So I want to make sure you're ready for that as we're working our way in the forecast through the second half of January. I'm going to pull this up full screen while I check to see if we've got any questions here this morning from folks. Okay, somebody's flying in. Flying into Minneapolis, okay, and then Saturday. Okay, Saturday, if you can see there on our 11-day planner, Saturday we have some wind, but it's going to be a lot, mainly in the morning hours on Saturday in the valley. Now, if your layover in Minneapolis might be more impacted by the potential for some ongoing snow showers. So connecting through Minneapolis, that would be something to watch out for. You have that possibility of seeing some snow still impacting you there in the morning hours on Saturday. It will be clearing or have cleared out of Fargo at that point. The snow showers, that is, it's looking like that'll be done, but we'll still have the wind. And so, yeah, you might have some impacts, might be something you want to make sure you're checking in on with your airlines. It doesn't necessarily mean things will be canceled, but, we do have the weather moving through during that time. But once we get into, midday on Saturday, flying into Fargo, that is when, the wind will have eased up quite a bit, will be improving conditions, so it does look better at that point. I'm thinking it's your connecting flight through Minneapolis that might be impacted by some snow showers, might be some delays going on. Hopefully that's not the case, but always good to be prepared for that. And that's my one question from Amy. Thank you for reaching out, and we'll refresh this and make sure I'm not missing anything else. And again, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask them in, oh, you're welcome, Amy. So yeah, you're welcome to ask questions anytime on our Facebook posts, and anytime we are doing these updates, and we'll have more throughout the day today. We're going to have extra presence on Valley News Now, our digital channel, and so you can access that through our website and see the latest reports coming in there through the day today and tomorrow as we're working our way through our first alert weather days. You could also watch on YouTube or right on Facebook as well, where I was looking for comments here. And of course, you could always head to DIY. Head to the VNL weather app and look at the radar yourself and the latest wind speeds and gusts. And we also, of course, update the forecast there. And we do video updates on our app too, where you can see the latest forecast that we've added there. So lots of ways to stay informed about the weather throughout the winter months and throughout these next 4 first alert weather days that we've got coming up here. something is going to be impacting us each day. A lot of that's going to be the clippers moving through, but also want you to be aware about the cold too. Saturday morning, I think, is going to be pretty tough. So if you can kind of just stay inside and stay cozy during those times. Always a good idea to stay nice and safe and warm. If you must travel, again, all of those reminders we've been reminding you about all winter so far. Want to have that survival kit in your car. Want to make sure you're communicating your travel to somebody. Let them know when you're leaving, when you expect to arrive at your destination, even the route that you're headed, so that if you don't make it to your destination when you had planned to, they can head out and look for you, maybe if you get stranded on the side of the road. And always have that, all those recommendations that we hear around in the valley. Have your gas tank half full at all times, have your cell phone fully charged, all of those things to stay safe. And it is going to be, quite windy here in the coming days, both, heading into tonight and tomorrow, and then again on Sunday as well, watching out for that wind. So that's going to be a factor for travel. And, road conditions too, I should mention that. You can check the latest road conditions right on the VNL Weather app and on our weather page on our website too at valleynewslive.com. So I hope you're staying safe out there today and enjoying these last few moments of these really warm temperatures we've had recently, because that's about to change for a little while at least. We are statistically in the coldest time of the year for us here in the valley from a climate standpoint. Our averages are the lowest right now. Our average high is 18, average low is 0. After that, we start to see those numbers climb. So something to think about as you might be lamenting the fact that we're dealing with 40 below wind chills in some areas by Saturday morning. Okay, so we're going to, let's see here. Okay, no more questions that I'm seeing. Okay, so we're going to sign off, but we'll have more updates throughout the day, and again tomorrow as well. We'll continue to keep you posted right here on the latest weather conditions. In the meantime, I'll see you back here around this time tomorrow. I'll also be doing some updates in the early morning hours too, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on with the weather. This has been your weather update brought to you by 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota.
There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.